Blogs every motherfucking day. Kinda. Took a few days off there. I was just being a lazy shit. Call of Duty came out with some new maps. You can't blame the kid. Yeah. Blogs every day. Good morning. It's May 25th. Today we're talking about... I read an article about Migos being homophobic. And the reason that they were saying that Migos was homophobic was because they refused to allow drag queens to dance on stage with them while they performed on Saturday Night Live with Katy Perry. Shouts out to Katy Perry for being just the most Caucasian ever while dancing with Migos. That was impressive. I would have thought that she might have had a little rhythm just based on the fact that she's a recording artist, but guess not. She definitely was like doing all the same moves that like my mom would do, like off a few swirls at a keys or whatever. I don't know. Bad play, Katie. Bad play. So yeah, Migos homophobic because they don't want drag queens performing on stage with them. I don't know, man. Seems like kind of a reach in the homophobia department. Now there has been like other shit said about Migos. I think they did an interview with like The Source or something, and they were talking about Atlanta, and they were talking about McConan coming out as being gay on Twitter, and they said something like to the effect of like they were surprised that he was supported and that the world's fucked up right now. But then they went on to say that like he used to promote like trapping and sell Molly and shit, and then like now this, and that it just seemed out of character or whatever. So I don't know if that was a comment on like people believing shit that isn't true, or you know that they were supporting him because he came out as a homosexual. So there's like reason to believe going into this situation that there's an issue where Migos is concerned with homophobia. So I don't know though, like this in this instance in particular, where they're saying you know, we want to have these drag queens dance on stage with you, and then Migos is like, no, we don't want to do that. Like, is that really homophobic to be like, I don't want that as a part of my performance? I feel like if Migos was like, we're gonna be on the show, so there can't be any gay shit, like no drag queens, none of that, like none of that on the show while we're on the show. That's fucked up, because then that's like them trying to change. Migos trying to change Saturday Night Live's performance, right? That seems fucked up just in saying it like that. But then, I mean, that's exactly what Saturday Night Live was trying to do to Migos. They're like, we're going to change your performance to match our shit by throwing some drag queens in the mix. And they were not down with that for whatever reason, you know? Could be because there's, you know, their religious beliefs, you know what I mean? And then that's like... it becomes a very interesting scenario where like, well, Saturday Night Live's not respecting Migos' religious beliefs. You know what I mean? Which is, you know, and then now we're labeling them as homophobic, which is dangerous in this culture, you know, in an ultra PC culture. Granted, I feel like most of Migos' like core fan base isn't going to care about whether or not the mainstream media thinks they're homophobic. But it's like, I don't know. It's interesting because it's, you know, that is largely probably why Migos didn't want to have drag queens on stage with them. I could only assume that they felt like that might damage their credibility with their fan base. Is that homophobic? Is that wrong? Maybe. It might be. But I feel like it's fully their right to maintain their own performance as long as it's not, you know, stepping on the toes of anybody else, or if it's like some hateful ass shit. There was this like, this is like, could be a whole separate blog, but there was this neo-Nazi punk rock band that was trying to play a show here in San Jose, and there was this article about all these people trying to shut this show down. Whether or not it was like bad to be trying to like shut these fools down on some like free speech shit, or the fact that they're like shitty Nazis and they should be shut down, like that's not the same at all. You know what I'm saying? Like Migos isn't like trying to have a hateful performance. They just don't want to have drag queens on stage with them while they're performing. It changes the whole vibe of their music. Whereas like these fucking neo-Nazi douchebags are just trying to like, their music is trash because they're shitty punk rock band, and if they weren't, they definitely wouldn't try to like make their music so polarizing that it could never have success. So like as a cop out to get attention and to have like some minor success with their shitty ass music, they just promote a fucking neo-Nazi agenda. So yeah, shut those fuckers down. You know what I mean? That shit's dumb. Fuck those guys. Fuck neo-Nazis. But you know, like if fools don't want to have, you know, imagery that's associated with being homophobic or being gay attached to their performance, like that, I don't think that's hateful. You know what I mean? So and then you're calling them homophobes, which is, I feel like, I mean, let's define that, because I don't think Migos is homophobic. I think that there is like some of my favorite reggae artists say wild homophobic shit. And that's real. Like Buju Banton and shit, like he can't even play out here in Cali because they'll shut him down because what he says can be considered hateful. And there's no way I can't even argue that shit. Like it's, and I feel like, you know, that those kind of beliefs are archaic. You know, let me just say that I've performed with drag queens on stage hella times at Tourette's. It's like part of the fucking thing. You know what I mean? And it would be crazy for me to go be a part of their show and be like, you guys can't do that because I'm a rapper. It's going to ruin my image. Like, I don't think like that. You know what I mean? I don't think I have the same fan base as Migos. So obviously, like, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't be like, no, SNL, you can't have drag queens on. I'd be, fuck whatever you want. I'm on Saturday Night Live. You know what I mean? Like, but it's a completely different story for me than it is for Migos. And I think that you're calling them homophobic now. That, to me, that means like they say hateful shit about gay folks. I don't think so. I think they get prodded about gay folks in interviews, or like, you know, they try to have the Saturday Night Live impose their will upon them and be like, yo, this is what you're gonna do for your performance. And they're like, nah, fuck that. I don't think that's homophobic. I think it would be homophobic if they had songs where they were like, fuck these gay folks. You know what I mean? Like, that would be homophobic. But it's not, that's not what's happening. So I just think this PC shit goes a little too far sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, using the neo-Nazi shitheads as an example is a bit extreme. But it's like, it's the full spectrum, right? Like, and there's, you know, at some point you got to shut these fuckers down for being fucking hateful and douchey and fucking lame. But on the other end of the spectrum, it's like, are you really gonna like try and shut fools down for just trying to do them and not, you know what I mean, because the media feels like they need to impose this like equality for everyone message attached to all the music? Like, maybe that ain't what Migos music is for. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just my opinion. So, blogs every day. This was a testy one. Let us know what you think in the comments, and I don't know, man. Tell me what I should do next. I'll take a request again. So, from these comments. So someone make a good comment so I can fucking do a blog about it. Blogs every day. Chia!